more news. U.S. has carried out fresh strikes on Houthi-linked targets in Yemen, and U.S. says that a radar station was targeted in the strikes. Yemen's official media has also confirmed multiple strikes in the capital city of Sana'a, and this a day after U.S. and British forces targeted dozens of Yemeni sites. U.S. Central Command said that the latest strike was conducted by the USS Karne using Tomahawk land attack missiles. And U.S. says that these strikes in Yemen have no association with and are separate from Operation Prosperity Guardian, a defensive coalition of over 20 countries against Houthi attacks that are operating in the Red Sea, Bab el-Mandeb Strait and Gulf of Aden. Now, Houthi officials have called out Washington, saying that they are ready for an open war. And U.S. military says that the rebel group has launched an anti-ship ballistic missile in retaliation for the strikes in Yemen. While the missile did not hit any ships, the U.S. Navy has warned American-flagged vessels to stay out of areas around Yemen in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden for the next 72 hours. U.S. President Joe Biden described the Iran-backed group as terrorists and earlier warned to retaliate further if Houthis continue with their quote-unquote outrageous behavior. Biden says that his administration has delivered a message to Iran and that Iran knows not to do anything. The U.S. president says he does not want a war with Iran, which is seen as a huge risk ahead of presidential elections. On the other hand, Iran has strongly condemned the attack and has warned that it will fuel insecurity and instability in the region. Iran's foreign ministry said that the attacks are a clear violation of Yemen's sovereignty and territorial integrity and a breach of international laws. Russia said that the strikes amounted to an irresponsible adventure and risk across the entire West Asia. China also shared concerns over a regional spillover of its strikes. And while Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan accused US and UK of trying to turn the Red Sea into a sea of blood.
All that has been done is a disproportionate use of force. America is now carrying out this disproportionate use of force in the same way Israel has with Palestinians. Iran is looking at how it can protect itself against all this. England has always taken steps with America throughout this process and continues to do so. At the moment, they are in an effort to turn the Red Sea into a sea of blood.
Now, the attack in Yemen has triggered huge protests. Thousands have gathered in Yemeni cities, including capital Sana'a, while many demonstrated in Iran's capital, Tehran, outside the British embassy. The strikes in Yemen are in response to attacks on Red Sea shipping carried out by the Iran-backed Houthis, which they say is a response to the war in Gaza. The Houthi threat has intensified to an extent that major shipping companies have ceased sailing in the region and insurance costs have risen tenfold since early December. And as the number of oil tankers have diverted course from the Red Sea, oil prices increased by 1% on Friday, and there are more fears of more surge and supply chains disruption. Almost 15% of global seaborne trade passes through the Red Sea. The Red Sea is a pivotal route for container shipping as it is the fastest route between Europe and Asia. It cuts the voyage time around 10 to 14 days shorter than the alternative longer route, which will require the vessels to pass all the way around the southern tip of Africa or the Cape of Good Hope. Meanwhile, in a separate incident, 2 U.S. Navy sailors went missing on Thursday off the coast of Somalia, and the U.S. Central Command says that the sailors were deployed to the U.S. 5th Fleet's area of operations. Search and rescue operations are currently ongoing to locate the 2 sailors, and more information will not be released as per reports until the recovery for security reasons. Now, the US's 5th Fleet's area of operations covers around 2.5 million square miles of water and includes the Arabian Gulf, Red Sea and the Indian Ocean.